All right, let's talk about something every single one of us in digital marketing has run into. What on earth you do with an ad campaign that's just failing? Well, today we're going to dive into a super clear, really simple framework that's going to help you make that big decision. Do you kill it? Do you assess it? Or is it time for a total reset?
You know the feeling, right? You launch a campaign, you're so excited, you start pouring money into it, and you just watch that budget disappear into a black hole. Maybe you're getting some clicks, but there are no sales to show for it, and that anxiety starts to build up. Do you just keep throwing money at it and hope for the best, or do you finally pull the plug and just cut your losses? That feeling of just complete uncertainty, that's exactly what we're going to replace today. So instead of guessing or making decisions based on a gut feeling or pure emotion, we're going to give you a structured, logical plan to follow. No more panic, just a clear way forward.
And here it is. This is the playbook that's going to guide you. It's a really simple three-stage filter: kill, assess, or reset. I want you to think of this as your new command center for managing your campaigns. It's designed to give you a definitive answer every single time. So let's break it down, starting with that first, really critical stage.
First up, the most decisive part of this whole thing, the kill switch. This isn't about maybes or what-ifs. We're talking about absolute, non-negotiable red lines. So the entire point of this kill phase is to stop wasting money and to do it fast. If a campaign is showing these specific signs that it's basically on life support, the smartest, most profitable move you can possibly make is to pull the plug right away. No hesitation, no second guessing. So what are those signs? Well, there are two really clear ones. First, you've spent a meaningful chunk of your budget, and you have zero add to carts. This is a huge red flag that people aren't even showing the most basic level of interest. And second, which is even more obvious, absolutely no purchases at all. If the cash register isn't ringing, the campaign's dead. It really is that simple.
Okay, so what if your campaign isn't a total train wreck? What if it's, showing some signs of life, but it's still just not hitting your goals? Well, if it survives that kill switch, we move on to the next phase. Now it's time to assess.
The assess phase is where you kind of put on your detective hat. The campaign isn't dead, but it's definitely sick. So our job now is to run some diagnostics to figure out exactly why it's underperforming. And this is not about guesswork. It's about matching the symptom to the root problem.
And this is pretty much how you break down that diagnosis. So if you're getting a bunch of clicks but no one's buying, the problem is almost certainly you're off for clarity. People are interested enough to click the ad, but when they get to your page, they're just confused. Now, if you're getting add to carts but nobody's actually finishing the purchase, you got to investigate trust issues. Is your shipping a surprise expensive cost? Is your site looking secure? And finally, if you're getting one-time purchases but nobody is signing up for a subscription, you need to reevaluate how you're framing that subscription offer. This is how you pinpoint the exact weak spot in your funnel.
All right, so you've assessed the issues, you've made a few tweaks here and there, but performance is still just flat. Well, this brings us to our third and final option, hitting that big reset button.
Look, a reset is not an admission of failure. Not at all. It's a strategic decision. It means you've realized that the core foundation of the campaign itself, and that's usually the creative approach, is just fundamentally flawed, and tinkering around the edges is not going to fix a fundamental problem. It is time to go back to the drawing board and just start fresh.
So the million-dollar question is, when do you actually do it? Well, the rule is pretty clear. If you have tested 2 to 3 different batches of creative, and I mean different ads, different angles, different hooks, and none of them have worked, it's time. Don't waste your money throwing a fourth batch of creative at a strategy that's clearly broken. Reset the whole thing.
So we've walked through kill, assess, and reset. But there is one final, incredibly powerful idea baked into this whole framework that will completely change how you think about ad performance forever.
Let that sink in for a second. It's almost never Meta, or Facebook, or Google, or TikTok. It is almost never the platform's fault. And this is the key to taking back control. It is so easy to just throw your hands up and blame the algorithm when a campaign doesn't work. But this framework, it forces you to look inward. The problem, almost always, is in one of 3 areas that you control: your creative, the ad itself, your offer, the deal you're actually presenting, or your targeting, who you're showing it to. The algorithm is just a tool. It's up to us to give it the right materials to work with.
So, as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with this question. Using this framework, what is the one thing in your campaigns that you need to assess right now, today?
Is there a campaign that just needs the kill switch pulled, or is there a symptom you can now finally diagnose? Stop blaming the platform, go find the real problem, and fix it. Thanks for tuning in.